welcome to Mono Rants the Boys, the only boys podcast that's going to spend the next 2 years constantly wondering what Ashley's powers will be. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and with me is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
I'm hoping for some sort of cheetah/beast type character, so then she can never lose her hair again.
That's what you want?
Yeah, entirely covered in hair.
The guy had to go just the other direction.
Yeah.
Either that or some sort of weirdly sexual power, like Tech Knight.
Yeah.
Well, not like Tech Knight, but you know what I mean.
Or the most efficient assistant that ever lived.
Just always ahead of people. But yeah, no, so season finale time.
Yeah.
And that's the official name of the episode as well.
Not surprising, given the events of earlier this week.
There was a little bit of worry online that they might have delayed the last episode, given real world events, but thankfully they didn't. No. And we can dive straight back into it and ignore the real world again for a little longer. But yeah, no, hell of a season finale.
Yeah, loose ends were tied up.
Yes, one surprising one, but I mean, let's face it, this is probably going to be a two-parter, so we won't get onto that particular.
No. The episode itself very much does feel like two parts. There is a bit of a natural break in the middle where you have all the stuff that happens in the first half hour.
Yeah, it is. It's very much.
And then they kind of stop and have a regroup, and then all the events of the second half of the episode.
Yeah, well, it's kind of everything leading up to the culmination of the plan, and then everything that happens after, basically. Dun. Yeah, but I was really, really happy with the episode for a bunch of different reasons, and not just for kind of what it will mean for season 5. Just the episode itself was fucking great. Few character deaths.
Yeah, working for Vought, not. Good luck with that retirement
quite
plan.
A few character deaths, yeah. But again, that will probably be talked about in the second half.
Yeah. I felt really bad for them though when they were like a list of anybody who has dirt on us, and it was like, that's everybody in this building.
Yeah, it's got to be like 90% of the people who work there.
Oh, at least.
And the fact that Ashley's list includes highlighted people who
need
have to pay out if they die.
But the guy who pays them out is dead.
Yes. Bringing back all the season 1 side VOD characters just to kill them off, including also Ashley.
Yeah, also Ashley.
We were like, snazzy, where's also Ashley? And then she shows up and dies.
In her snazzy, not quite Ashley suit.
Well, she's also Ashley. Yeah. She's not quite there. But yeah, well, we go for one last summary. For season 4.
Oh.
It's the end of the season, so it's time to up the stakes. Topless stakes, obviously. Butcher is on his deathbed and still arguing with Kessler over Ryan and the virus. Homelander barges on with his kludged-together version of Sage's plan and tells the whole world that Vic is a soup. Meanwhile, Annie is still trapped, and the boys' plans to save the president keep falling short.
Yeah, poor Annie.
Well, yeah, poor Annie at the start of the episode.
No, not poor Annie by the end.
That's going to be fun to talk about, but keeping it for the start, yeah. Annie's not having a good time.
Annie and not Annie, and just... I don't know what the fuck Erin Moriarty did, but that is two different people. Because Annie has the crazy eyes like fucking something else.
Well, like as good as we thought she was in the last episode.
Everything changed. It's so subtle, but you were just looking at her going, you are not Annie.
Yeah, no, she's like, absolutely amazing
really
in this episode.
Creepy, especially when like she comes barging in, when not Annie comes in, when Huey's found out all the info's gone. And the grin.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just kind of straightens back out again. I was like, oh, Dad, no.
Yeah, but the episode itself starts with VNN Today news broadcast about how A-Train's movie has been cancelled.
Oh my, and the snippet, the direct quote from Ashley.
We just figured we'd make more money on it if we cancelled it. Or writing it off.
Yeah, that's the plot line of the producers, and that didn't end well.
Well, no, that's the whole Batgirl movie. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little tweet from Burke about release the Snyder cut or release the Burke cut again.
Again, please.
Poor Will Ferrell and his Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
All that hard work just in the bin. What else did they tell us there? Oh, we get the little hashtag All Lives Matter thing. I'm taking responsibility.
New fucking like social impact awareness ad.
Yeah. All lives matter.
Fuck off.
And it's then the thing about the vote count. But last week we were talking about how maybe the virus might have been tucked away until season 5, and that Frenchie might need a while to like
get it
perfect
going.
it. But no, apparently he's almost there.
Yeah.
Because M's like, come on, hurry up, finish that virus. We need it now.
Like, you know what? He's like, I know he's clean and everything, and I don't condone this behavior, but for the purposes of this,
give him some drugs.
French hip hop, goggles, speedball.
Yeah, take it back to episode
like, that's
2, Frenchie.
Obviously, if you're in recovery, please continue your journey. But for the purposes of entertainment, I'm all for him falling off that wagon.
Frenchie should have got fucked up.
Yeah, because that's when he comes out with like all the mad shit, and it's just such a classic Frenchie image as well.
Yeah.
That it would have been nice to be like, oh yeah, he's back on his game. Even without the drugs, just the goggles and the hip hop, I would have been happy with. And him being it's a lollipop or something.
Just have a moment of him putting the goggles on and being like, I'm working, leave me alone. Because that is basically what he's doing there. He's like, I'm close. I'm like close-ish, leave me alone. Like, because when is it there or later when he calls? Oh, it's later on when he calls Huey. And he's saying to Huey that the virus isn't ready, and you just see Frenchie kind of in the background giving him the finger.
Yeah, and being like, do you want to come down here and do it?
Because, no, it's not. He doesn't call Huey there. He just texts him and tells him, like, we need this shit. And Huey's like, stop shouting.
Yeah, stop using it. Yeah, because it's all in capitals.
Oh, actually...
he's trying to hack into...
FBSA
files. And he's like, I told you Newman has it all locked up tight, like...
Yeah, there's no need to shout. No, but back with MM and Frenchie, Kimiko's got the bee, her Christmas present from last week, and she's trying to clean all the blood off it. But yeah, sorry, as Huey's trying to break his way into or hack his way into the FBSA, Annie appears behind him
in a blue ball gown.
Yeah, right. And tries to get his attention and get his attention, and he's like, cool, you look lovely and all,
but like, now is not the time. Everything's going to shit. Why are you in a ball gown?
Tells him a story about her great grandparents and how they proposed, and proposes to him.
And it's
they propose
I
to
actually
each other.
quite like the great grandparent story of being like, just damn it, woman, you have to marry me.
Yeah, I'm about to get shipped off, so like, it's now or never. Yeah. But yeah, no, the thing of them both being down on the knee was quite funny. But it's obviously not Annie, so that kind of sucks for Huey, because it's gonna have sucked the moment or the fun out of the moment for him when he actually does eventually propose to Annie. But they fuck again, and
everything looks very uncomfortable in the aftermath of that, and you get an explanation as to why quite shortly afterwards.
Oh yes, the 2 fingers. Yeah, and it was great.
I need to not talk to you for an hour and go have a shower now. Thanks. I gotta work.
Well, not Annie gets.
I gotta go and work through some things.
Well, Huey has a lot to work through this season.
Yeah, things keep happening to Huey in a sexual manner, because if you look at it this way as well, like, this is another violation.
Oh well, I mean, it was the same last week. Of like, whenever not Annie sleeps with him, he thinks he's sleeping with Annie. So also not consensual sex.
I'm finding out about that then afterward.
But she gets up and says she needs to go and get champagne. Well, she looks at her ring finger and sees that it's starting to look a bit like...
Gooey?
Yeah, so gets up out of the bed and says she's going to go and get some fancy champagne. And Huey looks at it a little bit kind of suspicious at her when she goes out.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, okay.
And she grabs the car keys and heads out the door, and he sees it in the mirror and looks even more kind of like, huh.
Well, we find out it's that she picks up her car keys immediately.
Yeah, as opposed to searching around for them for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, she...
I wonder if he ever did that thing we used to do to a very good friend of ours whenever he was frantically searching for his keys.
Oh, have you found... anybody seen my keys? Yeah, I have them here. Really? No. Every time he fell for it. Every single time. Except for that time that he wouldn't fall for it when I actually had his keys. Yeah. Being so sad to realise that he had passed on when that song about trying to find your keys and have you looked inside your butthole was released. It was like, this song would have been so perfect for Bren. Anybody see my keys? Hey, Bren, have you checked inside your butthole? She checked inside Huey's butthole for those keys.
Oh, she did, thoroughly.
But yeah, we leave them behind and we see Butcher in a hospital bed being told that his pressure's not good.
No shit. What was it, 90/60?
Yeah, he's like, that's not good. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm dying. Like, Kessler appears and is like, hey, you look like shit, but I can still help you out.
Because I pilot this meat suit.
Well, yeah, it tells him, Butcher's like, you fuck off, I don't need your help, and you're not real anyway. And he's like, yeah, real enough that I killed Ezekiel for you.
Yeah.
And I could do it again if you want to make a little deal with me and agree to go all the way and kill all the soups.
Yep, that promise that you made to yourself, what's a little genocide amongst friends. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is having so much fun as Kessler.
Particularly in this episode.
I really like him as, like, the comedian. And he does that really well. That kind of, come on, we're only talking about horrific war crimes.
Yeah, now that we've had the turn, and
he's playing
and
into
Kessler's,
it that bit more.
But now that Kessler isn't trying to pretend he's the actual Kessler, and Butcher knows he's this thing inside his head, he's just gone full Kessler, as it were.
Is really, really good at writing that kind of devil on your shoulder. Like, obviously, in Supernatural, Lucifer, when he's banging on Thingy's head.
Yeah.
But he's very good at portraying just that motivation.
Well, he directed this episode.
Yeah, no, and you can see it in the way that they have that interaction. And he's just pushing just enough, niggling, squirming in. It's very different to, say, the Sage Mother's Milk, where she was deliberately riling him. This is that soft cajoling.
He was much more forceful with Butcher and argumentative with him in the last episode, whereas this episode he's
like,
more
come on,
that.
you're done. Why you gotta lose? Come on, we'll take them all out with us.
But it's also he waits when Ryan shows up, he waits to kind of see how it plays out, and then he sees it plays out in his favor, and he's like, look, see, you know there is no saving the kid. I know that's skipping forward to later. He's kind of giving Butcher the soft sell this episode, and it works in his favor.
He's giving him enough rope to hang himself.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's working there because he tells him, just fuck off and let me die.
And Mallory's like, well, I could.
I'd
really
much prefer to
like
be honest
to
with
do
you.
That.
And he thanks her and she says, I'm not doing this for you. And he says something along the lines of, let's get to work, or let's do this.
Yeah, well, first he lights a cigarette, if that was your first clue that he's not in a normal hospital.
Well, no, we saw him light a cigarette in the hospital at the end of season 3, right in front of the doctor after he found out.
He really does not care. And he's like, here, get us a pint, will you?
Yeah.
The amount of disgust she can portray in one look.
Oh, yeah. No.
I never want to be on the receiving end of that look. I think I would die inside.
I keep forgetting the actress's name.
Layla Robbins.
Layla Robbins, yes. She's fucking
that
great.
Look, literally, I never, ever. My nanny had an evil eye look like that. and it was out of the corner of one eye, and you'd catch it after you'd done something fucking stupid.
It's just detestable.
And she just look at you. She wouldn't even say it. She'd just look at you, and a little piece of your soul would wither. But it's that.
Oh yeah, and she means it when she says that she'd much rather just let him die.
Yeah.
But Butcher's not the only one facing his mortality, because we see that pube jar of Homelander's
that got
is
awful
looking pretty full.
Fucking, you know, like when Homer finds out every time Marge is pregnant, and he just rips out chunks of his hair.
Yeah.
Is Homelander just doing that to his pubes?
Well, yeah, he's plucking them out as he sees them.
He's plucking them out. Has he never heard the old wives' tale that makes them grow back?
Obviously
more?
Not. Or maybe that's what's happening, and that's why there's
just
so
Homelander
many
in the bathroom screaming, pulling out tufts of pubes.
Because that jar is full.
Yeah.
He's so annoyed at himself, and then he sees Ryan's homework or something, I'm guessing.
He's cleaning it up. He's like, oh, Ryan, you left a mess. And he's cleaning up all his school work. And he goes to put it in the backpack, and the photo is in the backpack, and he gets really mad. And I was like, dude, it's a picture of his fucking mother. That's the only reason he has it. But he just sees Butcher. And
that's all he can see.
A wee bit of a tantrum.
We kind of hear it, and then we see the end results. And that room is trashed.
Yeah, all his pretty things, all the stuff that he's so proud of, it's all wrecked.
He's not happy.
Yeah, that room is very much portrayal of his mental state.
Ryan really shouldn't have walked in, but he walks in anyway.
Yeah, that was like, no, don't go in there.
Homelander's just like, come here now. That's an order. And Ryan's like, no, I ain't fucking
moving.
I
ain't going anywhere near you. No, when he throws the picture at him.
Yeah.
Tosses it to him and is like, I am your father. And it's like, no, you ain't.
No.
And that's the thing, is he focuses on Butcher in that picture. Not the fact that Ryan might have it because it's his mom.
Oh yeah, but it's Homelander's reaction. I mean, there was never going to be any other reaction other than rage when he saw that.
And Ryan smartly books it out of the building.
Yeah, because he's terrified, and rightly so. And I don't think Homelander was going to actually do anything to that. He wasn't going to hurt Ryan there. I don't think.
No, I don't think he was going to hurt him, but
he was going to shout at him loads.
You just don't know with him.
Yeah, no, it's not so much there. It's because later on, he asks Ashley if she's seen Ryan, and she says no, but we can try and find him. And he says, "Nah, give the boys need their space."
Yeah.
That's why
he's
I think
calmed down a bit.
He's calmed down there, but I still don't think he would have hurt Ryan.
No, he was angry with him.
He was angry with him, and he probably would have done a hell of a lot of shouting and said a whole lot of horrible things to him. But Ryan ain't hanging around to find out.
I don't think, as bad as Homelander is, I don't think he would hurt his kid.
Not his own
kid. Like, he'll do something, like he would say something he regretted, or maybe, like, I wouldn't put it past him to maybe throw a punch, but pull it at the last second.
Oh, like a slap to the face kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But not. I don't think he was in any mortal danger there.
Yeah, like, do I think he would hurt him? He might actually physically hurt him. Would he kill him? I don't think so. No. That's not in any way excusing Homelander. I think, like, he...
No, and it is as much what he says to Ashley later makes me think, that he's getting slightly better around Ryan. Not much. Yeah. He's still terrible, but, like...
He is a little bit more aware of his action, the consequences of his actions when they come to Ryan.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to push him towards Butcher.
Yeah.
But he doesn't hang around to find out.
No, Ryan is out of there.
Yeah, he legs it. And we catch back up with not Annie, who's gone to see actual Annie.
Yeah, poor Annie.
Yeah, when not Annie gets there, we see that she looks worse.
Yeah, she peels a bit off her face.
And it was like, she can only...
No. You know when she peels that little bit off her chin? I think it was Perry Bible Fellowship years back had that one bit about the person picking the hangnail and then unzipping themselves. I was like, is she literally gonna like unzip? And I was then thinking, she was like, oh, relax, I just need a top up. It was like, oh, can she only hold, like Doppelganger could only hold
that's what I was about to say, like Doppelganger could only hold the shape for so long before going
obviously,
back to
it starts to break
what we
down.
assume was their original shape.
But she doesn't seem to have a base form.
Well, she says it there to Annie after she gets the top from Annie, because she's like, don't worry, I'm not going to kill your mom. I'd have to go all the way to Sedona to do that, and nobody should have to do that. Like, yeah, she agrees with us. That's when she's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, you get some of her story, which is fucking tragic.
I just need the top up. And she tells Annie about the engagement and fucking Huey.
Yeah.
And Annie calls her a psychopath, and she's like,
nope, sociopath.
Sociopath, and tells her story. Then she's like, I can't even remember what I look like. Yeah. The first time that she shifted was in kindergarten?
Or pre-K?
Preschool?
I'm going to, about 4.
She says it was her preschool teacher, so 4 or 5?
Yeah, I'm going with maybe junior, senior infants, which here is like 4 or 5.
And we know that she takes on everybody's full memories,
that's
because
going to fuck you up. You would not like all.
Like we said, it was bad for Kate being able to. Huh? We said it was bad for Kate being able to read everybody's mind.
Yeah, she was going crazy. Look,
she knows every single thing. Or Mindstorm, but yeah,
bonkers. In the Silver Kincaid in the comic book, can't take it anymore. She crushes her own brain.
Yeah, it's one thing that they go crazy just from being able to read other people's thoughts. Every time that she touches somebody, she gets every single one of their memories. Yeah. Like, that's going to fuck you up, especially when the first time it happens, you're like 4 years old, and all of a sudden you can remember fucking your neighbor's husband.
Yeah,
like, that is fucked
kids,
up.
Like, and then
and being right,
feeling justified in those actions. Like, that's taking on, it's not just taking on the memory, it's taking on the emotional burden of those memories.
Yeah.
How they're even one individual.
How they're even sane.
Yeah, how, like, they haven't developed something like DID or something like that, or is it every time you purge them, do you purge their memories?
I was just about to say, when she loses the form, does she lose the memories as well?
And it's just what she retains of those.
And she just, she retains those
imprints or
particular bits of information about that teacher because they were so important.
Well, at least she doesn't bang on about it like a certain Samantha Carter.
Oh, yes. Well, she's dead by the end of the episode anyway, so... But no, she really cuts to Annie's core then of being like, and you're the same. You're just as...
I'm Annie January, and I'm it's so good.
Oh, it is, and it's brutal, so and Erin Moriarty is amazing delivering it. But I actually think as harsh as it all was, I think it's exactly what Annie needed. Because she's been reckoning with it the whole time. Like, she knows she did the horrible stuff to Firecracker and the other people on the circuit.
But
and
she tries to say, oh, you don't know me and you don't know my life. Yes, she does.
Well,
she's also seen all of this from a third-party perspective. Like, just because she has your memories, it doesn't mean she doesn't have her own perspective on those memories.
And
having somebody be rifled through. Imagine if somebody rifled through all your memories and then pinpointed all those moments and was like, "You're the bad person, and because of this and this and this, and you had a choice not to do those things, not to say those things, and you did it, and that's on you."
And he's been reckoning with all that stuff for the last few episodes, so that's been fresh on her mind. And when the shifter took her memories, she would have obviously been aware of all that. So when she's saying to Annie, you're blaming your mom, it's mom's fault that I was like that because mom made me like that. That's presumably true. That's presumably what Annie was trying to say to herself. And those are the emotions she was struggling with. And I'm guessing by the end of the episode, and when we see her kind of fight the shifter later on, she's come to terms with that and has fully accepted, I did those things. And I think that now that she's kind of accepted that grey within herself, that's why we see her get her powers back and be super kick-ass at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Also getting herself out of there. I was like, oh, this...
Oh, yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah, degloving is never fun.
Yeah, we don't see it there because after she gives Annie the really, really harsh truths, as it were, she gives her a bottle of water and is like, "See you later."
I love the way she just like kind of bounces up and jauntily skips off.
Back to Erin Moriarty being amazing in this episode. That scene in particular is just fucking. She's so good.
The way she's just like,
she's so good. And especially when
her eyes are so manic.
Well, no, but we've seen Homelander Anthony Starr act opposite himself a few times. Yeah. And he's really good at it too, but he spent 7 seasons playing a twin on Banshee. Yeah. So he's played opposite himself a lot before. I don't know how much Erin Moriarty has, but she does it so well here.
Everything about it, just the way her jaw was set, delivering lines, her mannerisms, just being a little bit more kind of head tilty. You see it more as once she realizes that the jig is up.
And it's really in the eyes as well.
And that's where you get the first comment about it being warm as well. Where she's like, Jesus, it's warm
she says it to Annie. Yeah, about it being a furnace. And I'm like, if you stopped saying that, you wouldn't have gotten caught out later on. But back with Huey, he gives Butcher a call.
Yeah, and is like, yo...
He's basically like, we need you. Like, shit.
Where are you? I can come to you.
Yeah, we're not able to find the shooter. At first, he's just like, we need you. Come to us. And then Butcher starts getting all, not sentimental, but sentimental and tells him about the Topless Steakhouse.
I'm pretty sure it's Treasure's Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas.
It's based on a real thing. Then.
Yeah, I literally found a list of the top 10 best topless restaurants in Nevada from Yelp.
And was that the top one?
That's the one I've seen that had it came up the first one. I literally Googled Topless Steakhouse Nevada. And the first one that came up was Treasure's Gentlemen's Club on the Vegas Strip, and it's 2 stories of family-friendly fun, apparently.
Family-friendly topless
I don't know.
steakhouses.
I just hope they don't serve sizzling platters. And those girls better get fucking danger pay.
Yes, but Butcher tells him that, he heard about this place and that Lenny thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And that the two of them were going to try and go there someday.
The way he describes it as they serve you your steak with their baps out. I was I forgot that was a euphemism for breast in the UK. Oh, get your baps out.
Yeah, it makes Huey promise to go and visit the place.
Somebody needs to go to the Topless Steakhouse.
And the mention of Lenny there is obviously important for later on in the episode.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of short phone call. He says that, go and do this thing for me, I'm asking you to. And Huey says, yeah. And then he says, tell the boys I'm sorry for... just tell them I'm sorry. Yeah. And we were like, what? For what? What are you going to do? And then...
For fucking up their lives, for bringing them all back into this, for starting it in the first place. What exactly are you sorry for?
Narrow it down a little bit. Just in case
a blanket apology ain't gonna cut it on this one.
Well, with Butcher, I'd just be more concerned. Look, are you apologizing for everything you've done in the past?
Or are you
apologizing for some
insane?
Unknown thing that you're about to do? Because I'd rather you tell me instead of just apologizing.
Better to beg forgiveness and ask permission? Is that the route you're taking?
In the moment, I think he is apologizing for all the shit in the past. Yeah. Because at that point, I don't think he's agreed to do anything, like, in his mind. He hasn't made
they're
up
still watching,
like,
because they're still ratifying, so they're all kind of holding their breath and waiting to see what the outcome of this is going to be.
Well, I think regardless of any of that stuff, Butcher will only go with Kessler's plan. He knows his fucking
cards are on the table as well.
And he'll only go with Kessler's plan if he believes there's no hope for Ryan. Yeah. He's not going to, at the minute when he's on the phone call to Huey there, I don't think he's talking about, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do later on.
No, I think
it's I'm sorry for all the things I've done in the past, because at that point he hasn't agreed to Kessler.
Yeah, and it was like, just give the dying man his last wish. Go to the titty steakhouse.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Just that scene there.
Yeah, because that's after the conversation he has with Mallory as well. So he has texted Ryan I'm assuming that, because when he asked Mallory to get him his phone, we didn't know what he was doing, but now he was texting Ryan.
Well, it's not there that Ryan shows up though.
That's like, he is, depending on what way it works out, and he's trying to do the right thing. Like when Ryan shows up, he is trying to go about it in a more gentle way.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't think he's going to get out of that room. Like no, he does not think he's going to see the outside of those four walls. He's that far gone at this point.
Oh yeah, he is on his deathbed. Yeah, very literally.
There was the cancer's now in his noggin and his guts. Like, it's spread. Like, he is just a host for this now.
The only reason he gets up and is walking around later is presumably because of Kessler.
Yeah, and sheer fucking force of will to not scare Ryan.
No, when he's out of that
later on.
Yeah.
I do think, like, when he gets out of the bed, it's so that he doesn't scare Ryan, because it's not fun having to see somebody, especially somebody who is so strong, reduced to such frailty. And I don't think as well for his own ego, he wouldn't want Ryan to see him like that. So even sitting in the chair, even though he's still sitting down and resting, it's a more dignified position. It suits his ego a lot better. And then playing Connect 4.
That does come a little bit later. Before that, we have the VNN interview.
Oh God, the car crash.
With Vic and Homelander and Firecracker.
And Firecracker's not looking too hot. And like, she says it because when she puts in her coffee order, she's like, I feel like, run over by a tractor this morning. And she is. She's looking rough.
And she coughs there before.
No, when she comes up and she says good morning to Homelander and he just ignores her and she's like,
Yeah, she coughs and he kind of looks at her. And Vic arrives and is like, let's make this fucking short.
I have other places to be.
And it is short, but boy, is it painful for her.
Oh.
Because Homelander is just
I never thought he would have outed her like that. I thought if she would either out herself or be literally forced into it, but in a more, more public, not on VNN, like in public, like at, at something that was going to be the thing that forced her hand. Him literally turning around on the TV and being like, Zoop.
I do love the way he does it though, when he's like, tell the truth. And she kind of tries to skirt around it, and he's like, no, you're a superhero, and she still tries to skirt around it, so he's like, fine, I'll just fucking laser you a little bit so people get the idea. And lasers her in the face.
Yeah, like right in the face, and her eyes milk over immediately.
Oh, and that's also where Ashley reappeared, and we were like, there she is, she's back.
But the fucking, the way they start that interview, where she's like trying to say it's nice to be there, and Firecracker straight away is like, let's cut the bullshit. Robert Singer is fucking anti-soup.
And then as soon as Homelander...
And he tunes out.
But as soon as Homelander has exposed her as a soup, she's quick to come back in and be like, yes, she was our secret agent dagger into the heart of the deep state who's been working for us. What does she say? To protect them from sodomizing democracy and your babies.
And your toddlers.
Oh, Firecracker's still great.
She is. And it's funny to be like, oh, look, she's just a parody of all of this, but I think she's actually a tame version of some of them.
Oh no, it's getting hard. Like with South Park, it's getting harder and harder for them to
satirize
reality,
it,
especially given real world events recently.
Yeah, you couldn't. If it was written in a show, you would think it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you were just like, oh, this is just some insane news channel made up for this world, nobody would ever watch it.
It's a reality show called Earth.
Yeah.
But the interview ends pretty quickly. And
just when she's chasing him out and she just tells the Secret Service to fuck off.
Just fuck off.
chasing after him. And is like, what the fuck?
Homelander is very kind of, it's not take chargey, but we've seen him be that way with other people before when he's just like chastising them and patronizing them. And he's like,
it's
you know,
how
he
like, punishes them.
Oh yeah,
because he did it to Sage. He made it.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's the same kind of conversation as he had with Sage just after he put her on the 7. Because here he's all like, train's leaving the station and you're on it, baby.
He's had the same conversation with Starlight, but about keeping her in line as the co-captain.
Yeah, basically he's saying here to Vic, look, the plan is happening, so get on board because it's happening. You're going to be president. When she tries to point out the flaws in his plans of being like, well, I need to be re-elected in 4 years, he's like, no, we can change the rules. Yeah. She says, what about, you're going to have to like arrest half the company and half the country.
Yeah, what about all the people who have dirt on you?
It's quite funny though, because he's like, you think I haven't thought of that?
Yo, he hadn't thought of that.
He's like, I haven't, but then, oh wait, shit, Sage has. I have those prisons.
Yeah.
So yeah, he quickly calls on Ashley, and Ashley looks happy to be called back into service. Like she's like, ooh, I'm important again, especially when
he's like, Ashley on me, and she's like, well, the social media, but that's like her thing, because the last time he did something like that, all his ratings went up. Remember, she went running into him and
after his birthday party,
when he was having a little moment of self-reflection, and she's holding the iPad at a very strategic angle.
Oh, when he gets his like approvals rating boner.
And he's like, it's not for you. So she's like, he's after doing something, the first thing he'll want is all these approval numbers and stuff like that.
What she thinks, yeah.
And he's like, get me a list of everybody who has anything on me. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, good girl.
What is it also Ashley says there?
She's like, oh, we're in deep shit. And she's like, yeah, you think?
Sorry, Ashley. Yeah, Ashley agrees to go off and make the list.
Yeah.
And we're back with the news talking about how Bob Singer is going to call for a new election.
Bob Singer's speech is hilarious.
Well, we had the whole thing about, you know, it starts off being all quite
we're going to call a new election because
when you run, you're supposed to say who you are before you run for politics, and
not after.
I'm calling for a new election because if she's going to be VP, it'll be over my dead body, because she'll have assassinated me.
That's when you get
and then
Grace.
We cut from the TV there back to Grace and Butcher and now Ryan arriving.
And them being like, we need to have a conversation about this. Like, you need to tell him.
Kessler's still kind of in the background being like, kid's not up to it. Like, sticking with the virus because he's not going to be able to. When he says up to it, I assume he means take on Homelander like he wanted from the start.
He won't be able to stand up to him. Like.
Yeah, he's like, you're going to need that virus. And Butcher's still largely ignoring him.
Yeah, he's still, like, he has faith in Ryan that Ryan will be able to do not what needs to be done, but that if they present him with all the information, he'll make the right choice.
Yeah.
What Grace goes on to do is try and force him and manipulate him into doing it.
I do like the little moment of him and Grace at the start, though.
But she's like, oh, you're almost as tall as me, and what are they feeding you? Because I hope it's a vegetable.
And the little kiss on the forehead. And I suppose like they would have been together for what, like 2 years nearly?
Yeah.
Season 2 ended with him going off with her.
Yeah.
And a whole year passed between the end of season 2 and the start of season 3. And he's there until what, the 5th or 6th episode of season? So another couple of weeks to couple of months. So yeah, for a year to a year and a half with Grace when he was a 10-year-old boy. They're going to have a strong bond.
Yeah.
It's nice to see it reflected that little
bit.
And
he calls her Aunt Grace.
But to see the roles reversed so strongly is interesting as well, because she's like, you know, we have to have a serious conversation. And Butcher's like, no, like, we need to be careful and slow about this. And says, we need to take you away from Homelander. Yeah. And Ryan's first thing is, no, he'll find me again.
Yeah. We tried to do this before and he found me. And he's like, no.
But his initial aversion to going with Grace is one of fear rather than one of, no, I want to stay with my dad.
Yeah.
And then when he is like, I kind of like some bits of it there, Mallory's trying to force him, and Butcher then steps in with like really the best argument of being like,
if
look,
you
I promised
honestly
you heard it. I promised her that I would keep you safe. And if you tell me you feel safest there, I'll let you go. Yeah. I kind of think he will. He would. He might. But Grace ain't gonna.
No, Grace.
So it's probably a moot point.
Grace, at the end of the day, lets her hatred of the Supes and her need to beat them makes her lose sight of the bigger picture. She resorts to very underhanded, and when that doesn't work, when the coercion doesn't work, she almost goes for brute force.
And her goals and Butcher's goals are currently that bit different.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to train him to kill Homelander. Yeah. He is literally just trying to do Becca's. I don't think he wants to train him. Well, we know he doesn't want to train Ryan.
No.
So their goals are different now, and she very much feels she's up against the wire, so that's why she's trying to push it. But he knows it needs to be Ryan's decision.
Yeah.
They can't force him to come with. They need to let him decide, and that's why he
because he had already kind of made a bit of an inroads with him with the way Ryan doesn't like how Homelander's kind of very okay with hurting people.
Yeah.
But between that conversation that he had with Butcher, he got to that intern to beat Burke into a pulp.
Yeah.
Like, so has his view on that changed?
Yeah, well, we've seen him kind of sway both ways, because we saw him do that
where
with
he
Burke,
enjoyed
and then we
the
also
violence,
saw him
but then
stand up last week
because he's kind of torn between the two.
Now he very much is torn between the two sides, and that's why, like we said early on, it needs to be Ryan's decision. They can't force him into it. He has to come to this decision on his own, and he will eventually, I'm sure. Because
he's also looking for approval from them. So he has two very different father figures going on. He runs between them. When one's mad at him, he kind of goes to the other one a little bit.
And the other thing for Ryan as well is that Butcher's dying.
So it's
dying, not a choice between Butcher. It's not really a choice between Butcher and Homelander. It's a choice between Homelander and going away with Grace again.
Yeah.
But he's not ready to make the decision there, so he has to play some Connect.
Yeah.
And Butcher's like, yeah, fine, go on. That's no problem. And actually, I think we skipped over a bit there after the Bob calling for the new election, and before Ryan visits Butcher, we have the virus not being ready.
Oh, that's when they're like, oh, we gotta release all the dirt on Newman, because
that's when
Newman's
he rings.
just come out as a soup. All this stuff that we had, all the murders she was connected to, the fact that she's connected to Stan Edgar, everything she's done.
Yeah.
Because she cannot be nominated as VP.
Yeah, especially now that it's out, before she starts getting support as Soup VP.
Yeah.
And Huey very quickly realizes everything is gone.
Yeah, he goes into
Annie.
Yeah, he goes in, gets a computer in the hard drive out of the safe. It's all been wiped.
Yeah, not Annie returns just at that moment and looks very pleased with
herself.
herself.
She's looking a bit smug.
She had told us that she loves to see the joy in people's faces when they propose, or when, there is a proposal. So I'm assuming she also loves to see the devastation in people's faces when things go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like there. She's like, my other favourite emotion to watch.
Yeah, well, she's already been saying to Annie, it's like, it's okay, you'll have a couple of consecutive life sentences.
Oh, of course, yeah, because she tells Annie that when
she was there, I want to know who the first option to assassinate the president was. Because she tells her that she wasn't even, she's the second option.
Oh, she wasn't even the first
choice.
But
you were such a car crash that how could we resist? This fitting,
maybe it was
she had teamed up with Bob, then Bob denounced her, and then all the shit that happened with Starlight House. It's only logical that she would crack and try and blame Dakota Bob.
I'd say you're probably right about what you were saying last week, in that the original choice probably was just a Secret Service
a random
person who was going to be nearby.
Yeah, because no deniability if it's just a sniper agent and one that maybe would have had affiliated links or something like that.
It would still have been the Shifter, probably.
Yeah, but they had taken over their identity to be able to get in. Because if we were like, oh, well, if now she takes on their memory, so that explains how they were able to get past computer codes, why she knew things like the safe code, and probably what she would have used to infiltrate the position. Yeah,
but there she's just looking very pleased with herself, and MM's like, fuck, well, if that's the case, then all of our offensive plans are for nothing, and we need to just go on the defense. I'm going to send you guys some coordinates, meet me there.
Yeah, Frenchie, stay here, keep working on the virus. Kimiko, you come with me. We have to go and do some shit now. And that apparently involves moving the president to 4 stories underground in a bunker.
Yes, but before that, we see the Sevens, well, what are they now, the 4s meeting.
Yeah. Well, the Deep is having a moment of remorse because he's there with his poetry book, which I keep forgetting the name of.
Stillwater's Run Deep. I remembered it this time.
Poems by the Deep, and he's a little bit of remorse for killing Ambrosius.
Looks like.
Yeah, a little bit sad.
He doesn't have much time to dwell on it before the meeting starts, but Ashley gives over the list as well.
Yeah, and that's when they have the conversation about maybe finding Ryan, and he's like, no, it's alright.
Yeah, and where she says anybody highlighted is
people we need to pay off if they were let go.
Yeah, she knows what's coming.
And then he's like, good, get out. And Firecracker hits the button for the door.
She's to run out the door. Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm alright, I got it. I want to see the bloopers for that, because apparently she split herself in one of them and then just kept crawling out the door while it was like trying to close on her.
No, the bit with the milk.
Oh yeah, she's got like all the milk.
Carefully pouring it. Yeah. And starts off telling his new plan about how, well, starts by saying that the 7 is a circle of trust, and what he says
she
now
has a spluttery cough.
Strictly confidential, yeah. She coughs, and he's like, "What is wrong with you? Like, take something that, I don't know, some American."
No, we have them here as well, but you get them in like the health food shops.
All right, well, it's something for a sore
throat. They're little,
basically.
like, yeah.
Go get a lozenge.
Yeah, they're little lozenges.
She apologizes and says it's just because of the meds. You know, the meds.
And like looks at the milk. She doesn't say it outright, and he's just like, ugh. And he kind of looks at the milk like, ugh, get away from me.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I don't care. Like, you're disgusting. Get away from me. Like, still keep doing it, obviously, because I want the milk. But just
I don't need
take your horribleness away from me, and makes her move
she's like,
down.
oh yeah, it's just, elevated heart rate and or elevated temperature and increased heart rate.
Yeah.
It's nothing serious. It'll be fine. And he's like, yeah, move away.
Cool, then move away, and makes her move down. Not one,
but two
seats.
And it's like, there you go, in your place.
Yeah, she looks so, not just upset, but like completely humiliated.
Yeah. Especially because that was after she had just put up the list, like they'd reach out to all the Vought heroes.
Oh, that's where, she's starting to say
they would all come to our defense, and
they're going to demand.
They're going to surround Washington, the White House, the Pentagon, and somewhere else. I think most of Washington, and demand the lawful instatement of President Newman.
Yeah, that's when she says about the heroes being rostered in and starts to cough, and then
and they have a lot of heroes, because that's like a whole list going around all those screens. It's the one list; it's not repeats.
Yeah, and so all, as you pointed out, pointed out off air, all you need to do is get those heroes into the building, and then Kate can just touch them and be like, "Go do this thing."
Dunlap.
But Homelander tries to resume his speech then after making.
Well, there's plenty of them that seem to be of his mindset anyway, because they've all been groomed to think that they're better than everybody else.
But they've
been treated by heroes and celebrities, and as far as they're concerned, this is what they deserve.
Oh, but you don't even have, you just invite them all to the tower, and even the ones who might not go with you, you don't tell them why.
Oh yeah, just get Kate to go down.
I'm getting invited to the Vought Tower, and then you tell them, and if they say, yeah, sweet, grand. If they say no, Kate just touches them and say, do the thing.
Yeah.
But he gives his orders to the Deep and
this is the list of people.
Here's the list. Yeah, everybody on that list needs to be taken care of by end of day. And Deep is very quick to go, hey, if we're talking about people who has shit on us, shouldn't Ashley be top of this list?
And he's like, yeah, okay, put her on there. And Ashley's listening at the door, and she's going, oh, bollocks. Deep spells her name wrong. It's got 2
and
E's.
Then asks what her second name is.
Yeah, do you know what Ashley's second name is? And she is booking it in them high heels. I love the turn, because that is how you have to take corners like that at high speed and heel.
When she's running away.
In heels that thin.
Yeah.
No, just the slight, you have to kind of drift the corner a little bit and try not to lose the back stiletto. Otherwise, you're going down hard. It's a full body slap.
But she legs it straight to Homelander's room.
Yeah, straight for the secret drawer of V.
I was like, oh no, really? And yes, really. Ashley takes the V, puts it into the syringe, and hesitates for a second.
Thigh. It's a bit meatier, like you can just go stab.
She hesitates for a second and injects herself and drops to the floor in pain, and her wig falls off.
And her head starts bubbling.
And her head starts like moving in a very painful
well, at least
looking
now
way.
She's going to be harder to kill.
Well, I'm assuming that's her reasoning, is that she'll be harder to kill and maybe might even get spared because she's a soup now.
Yeah, but look, I'm on your side. I've
helped
you in all of these all along, and now I'm a soup as well, so whatever is done will affect me, but also I'm a lot harder to kill now, hopefully.
Yeah, probably mostly that second one, or that first one of not being able to be killed, or at least not by like the Deep anyway.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with some of it,
Yeah, if you have to kill me, just not the Deep.
No.
I am not being killed by the Deep.
Yeah, like the Deep now, I'm not going to be sad when he dies, because he's a dick at the minute. I really wanted to involve Sea Life.
It actually might end up being Ashley who kills the Deep.
That'd be so funny.
We can talk about the Deep's dickishness and evilness a little bit later, or in the next one.
Yeah,
but
so
after Ashley takes her V,
Ashley's going to be a soup, which is going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. That's one of the things.
You know, she has the perfect power suit in her closet at home that she is going to like make her triumphant return in. She is going to have her own super suit.
That's one of the things I'm most looking forward to in season 5. Is going to be super action.
Yeah.
You can't wait. But yeah, no, then after that, it's them all down in the underground bunker with the president.
Yeah.
And we get an Idjit and a Balls.
Yeah.
I thought they could have maybe spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, the second Balls, not the first one.
Yeah. Like if you had him just say Idjit there, and then when we see him golfing later and saying balls, that would have been fine.
Been enough.
Still, I was happy with the supernatural nod all the same.
They're good. MM's giving them a lowdown. I love the ridiculously slow closing door.
Oh, when they're trying to escape.
Well, you see it there slowly closing. I'm a fan of a big door closing.
Oh, of course we are.
Stargate, close the giant door. That fucking moves faster.
It does.
That is a
giant Stargate door when they're locking down Cheyenne Mountain.
That is a ridiculously slow door.
But yeah, MM's giving orders and he's like, look, the shooter could be anybody. They could already be here. So everybody is in teams of 2, check in every 5 minutes, which is that's just good sense from MM.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you really think the shifter could be here?
Yeah, she's starting to slip a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit more cocky.
Well, I think there she's getting cocky, and then when she's talking to Huey and says the thing about it's hot, it's like a furnace in here. It's like that. Come on, like you really shouldn't.
Even if she had said, because even when she says, "Oh, I'm warm," it's really warm in here. He looks at it weird.
That's enough. That's enough to raise his suspicions. Whatever about saying it in front of Annie, you said it when they first found you. And then cut that guy's hand. Like, yeah, he's going to remember that, you know?
And he gets slammed with everything. And that's when you see her in the Starlight outfit, in the dress, picking up the keys immediately. Yeah. And he's like, oh, shit. And she goes off to get a bottle of water. And he's just like...
MM, come here.
Don't look at me.
Wastes a whole bunch of time by telling him to, like, don't look, just stare into the room.
Like, it's Annie. And he's like, MM's like, what's Annie? It's like, the shifter is Annie. And MM's like, what the fuck? He's like, don't look at me. Dude, relax. And then he's trying to like signal because Annie comes back. Not Annie comes back with 3 bottles of water and he's like, hey guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Mark. Like
the bit where she's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, I know, you spotted the ring.
You can see it's starting to crack there because she kind of gives a little bit of like neck action that Annie never would. Yeah. There's a couple of like little weird head tilts and she's like, what you looking at?
I think uses the ring as a test to see if she's actually been found out or if they don't know. And
they are both really, really bad poker players.
MM's response to the ring is so funny, of being like, holy shit, Huey, you proposed to the not version of your girlfriend. Yeah. Well done.
Like sneaking little side glances at Huey, who's like, yeah, I know, fucking, and he's trying to get like signal. He's like, Kimiko, come on. Like little subtle, like, fucking good. And she's like, what the hell? And then she shoves MM.
Not Annie cops it because Huey's squeezing the bottle really tight and MM's
like fist is going. She knows she's been made. Isn't it? Slams him into the wall.
No, Bob actually puts, because he's been trying, the reason he keeps saying balls is because he keeps missing puts in his little golf thing. And he actually puts it and like exclaims like fucking yes or something like that, and that's the moment what actually makes her kicks off. Yeah, she flings the 2 of them against the wall and tries to go for the president. We get some very nice
that poor Secret Service agent who went into that desk and was bent in half.
Yeah, the coat hook was one thing, but the guy getting bent backwards over the desk.
Somebody in VFX has seen that really, really old YouTube video, The Polar Bear and the Hunter.
Yeah.
That's what that
yeah, that guy just folds around the
Oh
table.
my god, that actually, like he was a right angle in the wrong way.
Yeah, not Annie is fairly competent, and you can see Kimiko.
And she's like, just like the way she's going about it as well is like, are you really shooting me?
Oh yeah, she's like, this is inevitable.
Are you seriously shooting me?
Yeah, like why are you even trying to fight, kind of thing. You can see Kimiko wants to help, but knows I have to stay with the president, more important. And that's where the door opens really, really slowly. I love
how Dakota Bob's like, are you serious? Like, are you shitting me? Is this how I'm going to die because this door mechanism is so fucking slow?
Kimiko manages to get him through.
Yeah, she just kind of, as soon as it's wide enough, she's just like, get out there. And it's her and that one poor brave Secret Service agent.
Yeah, who also dies. Yeah. And then
Huey...
Oh,
yeah, and she's nasty. She done ripped his throat out.
Yeah, Huey and MM catch up with Kimiko, and Kimiko's like, I'll hold her off, kind of you go with the president.
Tag off.
Fights not Annie and loses, which I was a little bit annoyed by.
But she just slam her head off the concrete twice and then snaps her neck.
Yeah, it's and not Annie does seem to be a very competent fighter, because that little wall flip thing looks
what she does. This is her profession within whatever world it is she's inhabiting.
But I'm just like, that's 2 losses for Kimiko to this season, and one of them was to a preteen girl soup. So I'm like, Kimiko's stronger than this.
Yeah, but when they were dealing with Zoe, they didn't know she had V.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, it was unexpected. The element of surprise there, but like, we saw her punch out Love Sausage in one punch with her bossy ring. So, like, we know she's strong. We saw her go toe-to-toe with Black Noir and do some damage to him before he won. Yeah. So I'm like, stop making Kimiko lose. Now, the reason she loses is so that Annie can win. So I'm going to let them away with that one. But, like, please, start making Kimiko win fights.
She's far more effective when she has a weapon. Kimiko hand-to-hand is not her strong suit.
And Annie is far more effective when she's pissed off.
Oh, Annie's so mad. She's been locked up for 10 days. 10 days. You've been sleeping with my man. You've been touching my stuff.
She practically had to tear all the skin off her hands to get out of those cuffs.
Yeah.
This show is so good at getting characters tackled from somebody coming in off screen. Yeah. Crimson Countess is still probably my favorite.
Just over the bed.
Yeah, just for the whole setup of it being during web chat sex stream thing.
No, where did you go?
Yeah, you're still there.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah, no, that one's pretty funny, because it's just,
I do enjoy a flying
you don't know who
tackle.
It is. But it turns out that it's Annie who has just arrived, and the two of them have a fight.
I love the way later on when he's like, "Hey, did you find us?" And she's like, "Find my phone, you moron." Yeah. Apparently works in an underground bunker that's supposed to be
or last location,
like highly secure.
But not Annie's like, what, your broke down ass is gonna beat me? And Annie's like, yes it is, and does take her out in fairly short order, because even when not Annie's getting punches in, she's not flinching. No. When Annie is hitting not Annie, she's reacting to those punches. But when actual Annie is getting punched, she's taking the hit. She's taking the hit, but she's not like reacting. She's not going back from the hits. She's just taking them and going on. And I think we have seen Annie take a major power.
Annie, having to sort out all her shit, has tapped into something else.
Yeah, and you see the start of it there, because she's like, what is it just when she chokes her out?
Your mental state does seem to have an effect on how your powers work. Because we've seen that with a couple of the others.
And blocks can be put on your powers, because Kate was being
blocked with medication.
So, and we've seen Annie can be quite powerful, as we saw at the end of last season.
Mindstorm was controlling his by using lithium.
Now, I'm not suggesting Annie's been on some medication this whole time, but for her, it was a mental block.
It's all that trauma, everything.
The more it came to the front, the more it affected her powers. Yeah. And now that she's kind of sorted it out, we might see like a proper super Annie. But yeah, she takes her out there and kind of says like, look, I might be shitty. I might not even know who I am, but I do know I'm the bitch who's taking you out. And strangles her to death. Yeah. Because I thought at first she just knocked her out.
I was like,
but then later on she's like, I killed, because I thought, keep her around and get some more info out of her. But no, Annie just straight up killed her, which is, no, I don't have a problem with it. I just at first
Kimiko
I wasn't sure.
Getting up, because Kimiko, that was so freaky. Kimiko's face is like the wrong way around, and her eyes open. I was like, oh, death becomes her anybody.
Yeah. After that, it's like that's the danger is over now for
they've got
Singer.
Bob out.
And Vic's obviously gotten word that it's gone south, because she rings Homelander to say,
your assassin failed.
Yeah, your assassin failed. And
he's going to come after me.
That's not good enough for Homelander, who says, look, I don't care. I'll kill Singer myself if I have to. But this is the way it goes.
You're going to be president.
And you're going to do every single thing I say, because if you don't, I'm going to kill Zoe in the slowest, longest...
No, not kill Zoe.
Sorry.
Zoe will...
torture her for as long as you are alive,
basically. And I will send her a piece of you, or you a piece of her, every year that you live. And I think she will live in unimaginable horror, and that is one hell of a threat.
Oh yeah. It's the one thing that she's always been afraid of.
Yeah,
it's the reason why she's gone along with Homelander. It's the reason why Zoe has V. It's the reason why she turned Stan in.
And Homelander knows that as well, because that was the deal, was to keep Zoe safe.
Yeah, I think for Homelander, it's just a case of, I'm so close now. I'm not letting it. It's in my grasp. I'm not letting it slip between my fingers. So it's going back to the old, just brute force it.
Yeah.
I will use fear and strength to control people, and that's immediately what he does with Vic. And I also think that that's probably a good point to leave it for the minute.
Yeah. Because that's kind of a culmination of like the first part of the plan. This is kind of what they were expecting. And now it's all turned sideways.
And I quite like it as well, because the whole first half of the episode is you thinking that the boys have no way of possibly stopping it. And at this point, they've just managed to, by the skin of their teeth, stop it. And it looks like everything on the Seven side is actually going to fall apart because of the boys having saved the day. But things go slightly differently then. And I think maybe we save that for a part 2.
Yeah.
We'll do our best to do a one-parter season wrap.
No promises.
We'd already done 2 two-parters. There was no way this episode was going to be one part, I think. So we will be back in a couple of days with our part 2.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit longer than it have been between the other 2 parts, because there's a whole lot of editing going on. There's a whole lot of editing going on, and I have a job to do and stuff. So I'll try to get it up quick, but no promises. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back shortly with our part 2 coverage of the season 4 finale. Thank you as ever for joining us, guys. If you want, you can head back and listen to our previous episodes or our other podcast, Mono Rants at the Movies, or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at RantsMono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.